Hunter Biden does a Profanity Ravaged interview with Andy Callahan.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil, chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
What's good, my people? You're watching the MC Too Tall Show. I, of course, am your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. Hunter Biden. Or should we start calling him Hunter fucking Biden? Because he's obviously found the sixth letter of the English alphabet. I think he wouldn't be able to speak anymore without that sixth letter of the English alphabet. He's done an interview recently with Andy Callahan, and let's count how many F-bombs he drops in this motherfucker, shall we?
And I mean it. Like, we sit here and we talk about the one guy because there's a clear legal path to being able to get him back. What about all those other people? Am I not supposed to feel for someone? Am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration? Fuck you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your fucking table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your fucking garden? Who do you think is here by the fucking sheer fucking just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals? White men in America are 45 more times likely to commit a fucking violent crime than an immigrant. And the media says, well, you got David Axelrod and, Rahm fucking Emanuel. So fucking smart, Rahm Emanuel. And said, we got to understand that these people are really mad. And we got to appeal to these white voters. Rahm, the only people that fucking appealed to those fucking white voters was Joe Biden, 81 years old. And he got 81 million votes, and he did not because he appeased their fucking Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it. And he said, you can be an 81-year-old Catholic from fucking Scranton that doesn't understand it, but still has empathy for transgender people and immigrants. And then nobody said, oh, Joe Biden's going to turn us into a socialist state, no matter how much they said it. But these guys think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back or I'm gonna fucking invade. It's a fucking crime what they're doing.
All right, I've heard enough. But you get the idea here. In less than 2 minutes, that was 1 minute and 57 seconds, so in less than 2 minutes, 19 F-bombs dropped. And in between all the F-bombs is all nonsense, and I guess he figures if he beefs it up with F-bombs, then it would have some meaning to it. No, it just adds profanity to silliness. It adds profanity to a big baby mindset. First of all, let's talk about the spoiled brat that he is. And he's talking about white people committing more crimes and stuff. What about crackheads? Okay, I guess coming from a crackhead's perspective, he might be right there. But if these people commit more crimes, why add another 30% to that, to each crime? Whether it's larceny, armed robbery, rape, murder, child trafficking, weapons charges. You know anything about weapons charges, Hunter Biden? Okay, so if he's talking about all of that, okay, these people commit more crimes than those people. But why add the portion of the demographic of these people that commit these crimes also to those statistics? Okay, so let's say overall, let's say a murder rate in a small town is maybe, figure small town, 8% of annual crimes in this small town. Now, like I said, you got a sleepy town. People are still going to get murdered in these towns anyway because you got some wackos in there. So a small number like 8%. Why jump it up to 10% or 20% by adding another criminal element from another country there to that town? Take a big city like New York. Let's say you take 2,000 murders or 2,200 murders like in the David Dinkins era. Why jump it? Let's say the murder rate was still like that. Why jump it from 2,200 murders a year to 3,500 murders a year? Okay, there's less people amongst this group that murder, but you still added to this amount of murders, creating a bigger amount of murder. You see where I'm going with this? So this scallywag makes no sense there. Now let's talk about the beginning of the argument. Who's gonna wash your fucking dishes? Who's gonna clean your fucking toilet? Who's gonna do your fucking garden? Let's see. I'm white. I wash my own dishes. I cook my own meals. I do my own gardening. I do a very good job of my own gardening. I bought a Sawzall just so I could do my own gardening. So, Hunter fucking Biden doesn't know what he's talking about. Another point that he knows nothing about. And he's over there jabbing at other Democrats and stuff like that because some of them are actually waking up and saying, hey, our leadership fucked up. Our leadership screwed up. They let a bunch of people in that are now running rampant wild all over the country, committing crimes. And that's another thing. Those crimes committed by those white people, what cities are they committed in mostly? Democrat-run cities. Even the rural cities, even the little rural towns that are run by Democrats, those people are committing those crimes in those Democrat cities or small towns, those rural Democrat-run towns. And anything from a big metropolis to a small rural town, if it's run by a Democrat, it is a dump. Crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. Not because of the white people Hunter Biden wants to blame. Not because of the brown people Hunter Biden wants to protect. It's because of the Democrats that come in all shapes and sizes and colors, and when they're put in a position of power over a city, any city, whether a big metropolis or a small rural town, they run it to the ground. Graffiti everywhere, trash everywhere. In cities like LA and San Francisco, human feces splattered all over the streets. Cities like New York, hypodermic needles scattered all over busy, bustling streets that aren't as busy and bustling as they once were. But there you go. It's Democrats that do this. It has nothing to do with race and everything to do with this political ideal. And what's their political ideal? Anything Trump speaks on, do the opposite. If he says this is a problem, get rid of it, or this is a great idea, let's do more of it, they will do the opposite. They'll do less of the good thing or try to eliminate the good thing and ramp up the bad thing. Whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. If they say we gotta teach more American history, you'll get more Ugandan history in the schools, taught by people in dresses who claim they're male assigned at birth, insist that they're women, and have full beards like Burl Ives. This is what we're talking about, folks. If you look like Abraham Lincoln, I'm not addressing you as Mary Todd. But in the world of the Democrats and people like Hunter Biden, especially if he's on one of his crack binges, which I'm sure he still does, because why is he doing this freaking vicious, stimulant-filled rant? You know you gotta be on some kind of stimulants to be ranting like that. And I thought he was an educated man. Where the fuck is he getting all those fucking fuck-faced fuck F-bombs from? Boy, oh boy. So, who's gonna clean your toilet? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna... I'm okay with doing that myself. There are unemployed white people that'll take those jobs. There are unemployed black people that'll take those jobs. There are unemployed Latinos who are legal citizens who could take those jobs. And get this, they could be paid a respectable wage. Or like, you know what it is? He's mad because the big bad Republicans are robbing him of his slave class. They're taking away the slaves. They're taking away the people that they've gotten away with paying less than what they're worth. I don't care if a bunch of brown people come into the country. But don't undercut. Don't undercut. Don't pay them less than what they're worth. Because when I get paid to do the same job as they give these people, they should also be paying these people that amount of money. I'm all for them paying them the higher wage, but for them to come into the country illegally, fill out a W-2 like I do, invest in their own Social Security, invest in their own retirement, get an HMO through their job, and if it's a unionized job, join the union, pay the union dues, assimilate, and work under the same pay scale as U.S. born and naturalized citizens. Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna do the rough jobs or the disgusting jobs for these slave wages? So you don't want to be Mr. So you're mad because you can't be Mr. Slick anymore and pay people a little bit more than they're accustomed to in their native land, but you know damn well is a hell of a lot less than what they're worth for their labor in this country. You want to do that. You, the Democrats, you, Hunter Biden, you, Joe Biden, Hillary, I could go down the list, but you Democrats want to pay people way below what they're worth and trick them into working for those wages because it's a little itty bitty bit more than what they're accustomed to at home. That's what you want to do. You want to have an entrapped slave class. That's what you want. And when you argue who's going to clean your toilets, who's going to do your garden, who's going to mop your floors, who's going to fold your sheets at the hotel, that's exactly what you're telling us in that argument. And you know what? As the grandson of immigrants, that offends me. That offends me. I am the grandson of Italian immigrants, came down to the United States, first stopped at Canada, and then migrated down into New York. I have uncles who are their sons who served in World War II. And two of those uncles served in Korea. I had an uncle who was called into the Army in World War II and made a career out of it, became a high-ranking officer, passed away in 1988 with a huge military funeral that unfortunately I wasn't able to travel to and attend. And in fact, I think we didn't get the news until after he was buried, unfortunately. My father, the son of Polish immigrants, he served in the Korean War. And yeah, as the grandson of immigrants from both sides of my family, I take that as an insult when you say, if you don't let these illegal immigrants in here, who's going to do all this menial labor at these illegally low wages? Who's gonna clean your toilets, wash your dishes, hopefully not with the same brush, do your gardening, fold your sheets at the hotel, at these illegally low wages if you don't let illegal immigrants into the country? That, my friends, is an insult. What the hell is wrong with coming into the country the same way as my grandparents did? Coming through Ellis Island the right way. And yes, that Statue of Liberty and the message on there was not referring to people coming in with their hand out. We're not referring to people who are going to make a little bit more than they're accustomed to at home, but participate in the illegal activity of paying somebody an illegally low wage by accepting that illegally low wage and lowering themselves to accept that illegally low wage. And because they're in the country illegally, they don't have the power and authority to look that potential employer in the eye and say, stick that wage up your ass or pay me more. You see where I'm going with this? And let's get on to the other thing. He says if he's president, he jumped from 2 to 4 to 3 years. So he's playing hopscotch with the calendar. And why would he say 3 years, 2 years, 4 years? Because he's lost his mind. 4 years is when a new president will be inaugurated president. January 20th, 2029. I could assure you, not even Democrat voters take Hunter Biden seriously. They're barely able to stomach Tim Walz and Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom and these guys. I mean, your guys they should be putting up there. Not that I'm a big fan of theirs either. Andy Bashir from Kentucky. What's that? John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. Or also from Pennsylvania, Shapiro. Josh Shapiro. I was going to say Ben Shapiro. But any one of those three guys would be at least a contending force. They would still get buried in the 2028 elections, I believe, by someone like J.D. Vance, because I believe that should be the next person we run. It's a formula that works. If you have a good president, the formula that works is run their vice president, which is a big reason why the Democrats lost the 2016 election. Obama was sinking in popularity in 2016. But he was popular enough where if they ran Joe Biden instead of Hillary Clinton, he actually might have won in a fair election. And you could hate Joe Biden. I can't stand his presidency either when he finally did become president. But if you follow the trends dictated that if they would have ran Joe Biden instead of Hillary Clinton, that might have worked. And then, of course, he would have screwed up. And then what eventually became Joe Biden's presidency would have been him running for a re-election and probably losing to Trump for the first time. And we'd have a President Trump today, only it'll be a President Trump incumbent serving a second consecutive term. See how that would have worked? So either way, we would have had Biden and Trump in a span of 12 years anyway. It still would have been 4 years Biden, 8 years Trump. But you see where I'm going with this. And these are the types of Democrats. The last of the feasibly perceived as moderate Democrats. Shapiro, Fetterman, Bashir. The last of the perceived moderates. He's bashing them. And he's saying that if he's president in X amount of time, as if he'd be taken seriously if he throws his hat in the ring. Let me tell you something. Anybody that takes him seriously as a presidential candidate is probably someone who deserves to be chained to a wall in a dark dungeon, released only at feeding time to eat from a metal bowl with a combat boot pressed to the back of their heads. People deserving of that are the only people that would take Hunter Biden seriously as a presidential candidate. And so I'm going to quote John Oliver when he said what he said to Donald Trump, which is, do it. Hunter Biden, do it. Look at me. Do it. Vance will bury you. Mark my words, mark my words. We will not see another President Biden. Unless Navy Biden runs one day as a Republican. But I don't know what the issues are. But here we are. We got this idiot ranting and cursing in between his freaking coke lines or pipe pulls or whatever. But he's obviously wired based on how intense he was in that interview. And this guy that he was interviewing, this Andy Callahan, he was, just lopping softballs some. He lopped a few softballs in and just let him go. And it's like, and he acted like that with a friendly interviewer. Imagine if he was with somebody that was a little objectional. Like a Bill O'Reilly. Like a Brett Baer. Oh, I would have loved to see him against Hannity. That would be fun. Or, well, he'll never do an interview with Tucker Carlson. Certainly wouldn't do an interview with Mark Levin. So here he is, doing the interview with Andy Callahan and cursing all the way through. 19 F-bombs in less than 2 minutes. Can you believe that? Well, at least he didn't use the F-bomb in front of the name of God. So hopefully he has that shred of passageway. One can only pray. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share this content. Tell all your friends about me. Subscribe to my channel, will you? I need more subscribers. Tell your friends about me so they can subscribe. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. Now I'm going to leave you with this funny thing.
People believe after puberty, they have to let go of all the things they enjoyed as little tykes.
Absolutely.
You know what you should ask them? Is who do they support? Who do they vote for? I wonder who the adult baby diaper lovers population, are they more Democrat or Republican right now?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Now, are you serious, Hunter? Of course they're Democrats.